So my friend Jake and I decided to take a trip to New York City. And one of the things him and I tried to do together is stepping outside of our comfort zone, and it's actually a lot of fun. This video started out as a complete joke, but we actually did it. We found the cheapest Airbnb in all of New York City and stayed for 2 nights. You see, most people spend a lot of money on vacations, including myself, and we wanted to see if it was just as enjoyable staying on a budget, an extreme budget, in this case of $30 per night. So before we get into the tour, here is the backstory of the listing. The original listing on Airbnb just showed 4 photos of the same pull-out sofa bed. However, a few weeks later, there were some additional photos of a TV and a few office chairs added to the listing. One thing we made sure to note was the house rules, which simply said 15 steps. So at a total cost of $75.64, we were off to New York City. Now, just for contrast, I have stayed in New York City countless times in Airbnbs and hotels, and I typically spend around $150 to $200 per night. So getting an Airbnb rental for $30 a night is absolutely unheard of, and this is very cheap for the area. So we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into here, but we decided to find out.
I really like that about this closet.
The folding closet door.
It opens right up, a lot of space, you know?
Now, this particular host actually has 7 different listings, and it appears they are all in the same house. He actually has 37 reviews, most of them being 5 stars. Now, our room in particular had 11 ratings and 4.73 stars overall, which was actually extremely positive. One review did mention a bad smell in the bathroom, but other than that, it was all positive. Now, one favor I want to ask you guys before I reveal the listing, if you could just go ahead and drop a like on this video for the YouTube algorithm. It really does help out and allows this video to get shared with more people. And it also shows some support for the fact that we actually spent 2 nights at the cheapest Airbnb in New York City. However, I will say this, there were a number of friendly animals that greeted us along our journey. And then I think we were drinking and one of us was like, hey, what if we go stay at the cheapest Airbnb in New York City? And then here we are. It is a Wednesday. It is 8:25 a.m.
I don't mean to embarrass you, but it's actually Thursday.
It is Thursday. It's Thursday, and we are staying in the cheapest Airbnb that we can find. So the key for our Airbnb was left for us in the mailbox, but we couldn't find the right one for our room. So right off the bat, I called the host, and he answered the phone pretty quickly. Bye. Right off the bat, he's changed it to number 4, so we're not in number 2. We're in number.
So he's changing our room number. Great. That's what I thought was happening there.
Okay, guys, so we just checked into the place here. Not gonna lie, when we were on the train, this one woman came up to me and tapped me on the arm, and she went like this and tapped on her eye and then pointed to my stuff. So I was like, not really feeling good about the area we were going into, and I'm beginning to understand why this Airbnb is only $30 per night. And we are actually made out much better in this unit because we actually have like a full-size bed. I'm actually pretty impressed with it for 30 bucks a night. We do have a trash can, which appears to be totally empty and clean, and honestly, like, the bed looks really nice. 1 towel, so we're gonna have to figure that one out. We have 1 towel here and 1 washcloth, but to be honest with you, like, I'm gonna kind of strip the bed just to take a look here, but it looks pretty clean. I mean, it's white, and like that's what I say about Airbnbs is like, if it's white, you know that it's been cleaned, and it honestly smells completely clean. Yeah, this is a totally clean pillow. We'll just take a quick peek at the mattress to make sure, but to be honest with you, this looks like it's a really clean bed. And yeah, there's like no stains on this mattress at all. Other than that, you know, we have this closet. I put some of my stuff in here, and then we have all the AC units piled up in here. So yeah, I don't know. This is not bad at all for 30 bucks. I was expecting far worse. So we ended up in a totally different room, which was actually a lot nicer than the one that we saw in the photos. It had a real bed with clean linens and a towel and washcloth. And I have to give them credit where credit is due here, because while this wasn't the nicest place on the outside, the linens were very clean. And it's hard to hide stains on white, and it was white towels, a white washcloth, and white bedding. Then, unfortunately, things went downhill when we visited the communal bathroom and kitchen. While there were some cleaning supplies underneath the sink, it didn't seem like they had been used at any point in time recently. And it was at this point that we realized we would not be showering for the next 2 days. The kitchen itself was totally unusable. I wouldn't want to cook a meal or eat a meal anywhere near that place. And you couldn't access the backyard because of the trash piled up there. We did find extra towels being stored in the kitchen cabinets, and the cover for a light fixture was inside of the oven. So after exploring the entire unit, we settled in for the night. The next day we did some sightseeing in New York City. We checked out the Freedom Tower and had a number of craft beers, which explains what happened next. When we got home that night, we were feeling brave and we decided it was time to investigate the basement. If anyone stopped us, we would simply tell them we were looking for the bathroom, which at the time, based on the number of craft beers we had consumed, that seemed very believable.
There's like another kitchen down here.
There's a bedroom in there. Oh, it smells so bad.
Oh my god, it smells so bad down here. Don't steal my drink.
So overall, what we have to say here is that for $30 a night, this actually exceeded our expectations, and I ended up giving the host a 5-star review. Our room was actually upgraded, and despite the fact that the location wasn't ideal and the building was kind of crappy, the linens themselves were very clean. The only thing that was really not great about this listing was the kitchen and the bathroom, but you know what? For a place to crash for $30 per night, it's about what you would expect. We were like, 20 feet away from a Popeyes this whole time, so we've been taking advantage of that. And so yeah, honestly, I would do this again, and it wasn't too bad. Now from this whole experience, I will certainly have a better appreciation for things I take for granted at my next Airbnb stay, such as a private bathroom and functioning closet doors. But at the end of the day, we had a great time in New York City, and this was a good place to crash. So that's going to wrap up this video, guys. If you want to check out Jake's video, he just started doing a channel. So if you want to see his side of the cheapest Airbnb video, I will go ahead and put a card up in the corner so you can check his out. But that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.